What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. So as we all know, the Wizards made a few trades at the trade deadline, and one of the guys they got back in return in one of those trades was AJ Johnson from the Milwaukee Bucks. And when he was first drafted by the Bucks, everyone thought he was super raw and he was a project player, and it was very confusing why the Bucks even took him in the first place when they're more of a win-now team, obviously. At the moment. But the Wizards have acquired him at the trade deadline, and he just had a great game against the Brooklyn Nets. He had an interview where he said he feels like he has superstar potential. So today inspired me to do a video where we turn AJ Johnson into a superstar and make him the star and the face of the Wizards in the future. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. YouTube tells me about 56% of the people that watch these videos aren't actually subscribed. So if you do follow that 56%, want to change that, that'd be greatly appreciated as we're on the road to 50,000 subs at the moment. So AJ Johnson has shown some bright spots for Washington, obviously getting a lot more minutes, deservedly so. Milwaukee was never going to play him a ton, so he's gone to a rebuilding team as the Washington Wizards, and now he's showing a little bit of what he can do. We're going to try to turn him into something more than that. Right now, he's only a 70 overall, but I went ahead and pushed his potential up a ginormous amount, so he should develop really nicely. But the goal is to have him as a starting point guard throughout the video, basically. So, yeah, we're going to see how that turns out. So I will see you guys at the end of year one. Right now, obviously, it's Jordan Poole. But how many minutes is AJ Johnson currently getting? He is right here with about 18. So let's give him more. Let's give him just a few more to end off the season. Nothing crazy. Obviously, we're going to be a bad team. We'll be in the lottery, but we want him to be as good as possible. So let's give him 28 off the bench. So I will see you guys at the end of the season, and we shall see how we finish out. Obviously, we're not a good team right now, so we expect to be in the lottery process and getting a good pick there. So that should be a potential star to pair next to AJ Johnson going forward. Shay's going to win MVP, Stephon Castle Rookie of the Year, Peyton Pritchard Sixth Man, Dyson Daniels Defensive Player, Cade Most Improved, and Trae Young's your Clutch Player, and Mark is your Coach of the Year. So here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second, and All-NBA third. So obviously we don't really have anything going for us here as far as, but we'll have some rookies. So we'll have Alexander Sarr and Bub Carrington, and we also get Kaishan George. So that's great to see three guys representing for us. We obviously, the Wizards, I shouldn't say we, but the Wizards have a very good young core going forward, or a fun young core anyway, and it'll be kind of interesting to see what it blossoms into. But let's go ahead and simulate the playoffs, and let's see how this finishes out. And mainly the most important thing will be this offseason is where does our pick end up? So Celtics, Warriors in the finals, and the Celtics beat the Warriors in 7 to win the championship. So LeBron trying to retire, but everyone else usually just let them retire. And now fingers crossed we get some lottery luck. I don't really want Cooper Flag per se, but I just want to have a decent pick here. So let's see. I'd actually prefer not to get Dylan Harper either for this video, but let's go ahead and see if we get a good pick, and it will be pick number 5. So we don't really have to worry about getting, well, I've seen Harper fall before, but I don't think we have to worry about getting Dylan Harper. He probably would go in the top 3 or, to the Wizards or to the Spurs as well. But we have number 5. We also get a lottery pick from the Grizzlies, which I just did a rebuild on them yesterday. And I still do not understand why the Grizzlies suck in the simulation so bad. They missed the playoffs. So Brian Keefe will remain the head coach for now. But let's head to draft night, and we shall see what we can get with pick 5. So at pick number 5, we have Cooper Flag going to the Jazz. We got Ace Bailey to the Nets. Dylan Harper goes to the Pelicans, as I figured. And Demon goes to the Spurs. So I feel like it's only right that we take probably either VJ Edgecombe or Trey Johnson, which I actually like the idea of a VJ Edgecombe and AJ Johnson backcourt going forward. So that sounds fine to me. We're already going to have a very good foundation because now you have Bilal Coulibaly, you have Alex Sarr. I mean, we almost pretty much have and Kaishan George. We pretty much have a young starting 5 already, as long as AJ Johnson develops like I think he will. And then we have another lottery pick. And we have Maluwak, who fell all the way down here to 14. And yes, I will jump on that as well. So that feels pretty good. I think it's a pretty good start to this rebuild, honestly. And we walked away with those two guys out of the draft. So Edgecombe and Maluwak, welcome to Washington. Very happy to have you both. So we'll sign both of them. Michael Ruzic and Michael, nope, we won't be able to two-way them. I'll just sign Michael. Player options. Middleton accepts as expected. I don't think he will get that much money anywhere else. And then Bilal also will be accepted, obviously. No qualifying offers. And then for free agency, LeBron's a free agent. We have JT Thor and Anthony Gill. Okay. So we have Jordan Poole still here. We have Marcus Smart still here. We have Bilal still here. Bub Carrington, VJ Edgecombe. So obviously, Edgecombe and Bub Carrington is probably going to be our guard rotation. I probably would ideally like to move Bub Carrington to backup point guard, or we'll figure it out. But it'll probably be Carrington, Edgecombe, and AJ Johnson remain in the backcourt going forward. Below will be moved to the 3 in here in just a second. Middleton, Kispert. I don't mind Kispert, so he can stay here as well. Sadiq Bey, we'll see what we do with him. Kashawn George, again, I like him a lot. Might even move him to small 4 in the future. We'll see. And now we have, Maluwak and Alex Sarr as a center for now. Might play around with that earlier or later and move one of them power forward. We'll see. It just all kind of depends on how things play out. But I do believe there are some pieces we can sell off here, so I think that is where we should start with things, especially Marcus Smart being an expiring contract, along with Middleton. I do think there is definitely avenues to potentially getting rid of some of these guys, and maybe even Jordan Poole as well, because the best thing we can do for AJ Johnson is getting rid of some of the scorers here. That way AJ Johnson has a clear path to being one of those scorers for us. First trade we're doing is going to be with the Detroit Pistons, where we send Marcus Smart over to Detroit. We get a top 10 protected first round pick. We also get Simone Fontecchio in return as well. Simply just getting a pick out of the Pistons. Sign me up for that. It's a top 10 protected. Probably be a heavily protected pick, honestly, for Marcus Smart services. But Marcus Smart could be the kind of guy that, Detroit could use potentially as like a culture setter going forward. So I don't hate that for Detroit. And I like that trade for us as well. So first one down the pipe. So as far as a trade for Chris Middleton is concerned, I actually don't hate this one where we take on a bunch of bad salaries where they'll be expiring. So it'll be Middleton for Robinson and Rozier. Don't think that's a horrible idea. Obviously, Robinson and Rozier probably won't play for us at all. And Miami gets Chris Middleton. Maybe they see they can get something out of him to end things off. I don't know. He averaged 12 points, so maybe Miami feels like they can do something with them. I'm not even going to be asking for a first either, but hey, if you want to give me a second, that just kind of makes the trade look a little bit better. But it's a second round pick, trade exception involved. Sure, why not? So we'll do this trade, and just like that, we have Middleton gone, and he will no longer have to play. Robinson and Rozier won't play either for us, more than likely, but they're guys that'll come off our books immediately. So last one was Jordan Poole, which I wouldn't mind keeping Jordan Poole, but I think for this video, the theme of it, I think trading Poole would be in our best interest. So I'm going to go ahead and do that as well and see who would want Jordan Poole's services and see if we can find something. I think we'll be ready for the rotation coming up next season. So we're going to be doing another trade where we just take on kind of a bad contract, but we'll be getting Jordan Poole over to the Clippers for Bogdan and Jordan Miller. So this is a trade we'll be doing, and just going to be getting rid of Jordan Poole, basically. I would like to get a first if possible, but I'm not going to, I'm not going to be upset if we can't, because we have to do that top 10 protected. Those are pick swaps, so yeah, let's not do that. So let's just stick with the original offer, first round pick, so it's swapping of picks. The one in 2029, we send one in 2026. I guess that's fine. Sure, we'll do it. So just like that, this trade we'll be doing. So instead of having a 2026 pick, we'll have a 2029, and that seems fine enough. So now let's go to player progression, and let's see what AJ Johnson's development looks like. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it actually works, but we'll see. So yeah, it did. So that's a good start. He's up to a 77 overall. Like I said, I did push his, potential up pretty high, so he should develop really nicely. But here are the rest of it, or here's the rest of it as well. So obviously there's gonna be a lot of rotational things I need to do. Might even be some guys I need to cut. I think we have way too many players on our roster if I had to guess. So let's see how many guys need to be cut. I assume we have way too many if I had to guess. So let's see. Yeah, we have to cut 3 players. So 3 guys unfortunately have to go. So let's see who that might be. So one of them is gonna have to it's probably gonna have to be these 3 bottom guys, honestly, because we can't really cut anyone else necessarily. So fortunately, Michael's gonna have to go, who was just drafted for us. Kobe Jones is gonna have to go, which sucks too, and we're gonna have to cut Jordan Miller as well. So those guys will all be gone, which sucks, but ultimately it's for the betterment of the future. I guess it's not really, I don't really want to screw our financials by trying to cut bigger contracts, because 2K automatically stretches and waives them. So good look at the rotation now for year number 1. They're pretty close to how I would have the rotation. I have AJ Johnson starting with VJ Edgecombe, Below, Kashawn George, Sarr, Bub Carrington, Kispert, Sadiq Bey, Champagny, and Bogdan Bogdanovic. But I'm only going to run a 10-man rotation, obviously, and then I want to kick some of these vets out. So Maluwak needs to play. Everyone else, I'm actually fine with not playing at all. So Maluwak just simply needs to play minutes this year. That's the only thing I have an issue with. So we'll move Maluwak in here, and I'll have him playing more than Sadiq Bey as well. So we'll go 11 to Sadiq Bey and 19 minutes to Kadeen Maluwak. So we'll do something like that. The only other thing we need to look at is the shot tendencies, obviously, because AJ Johnson's shot tendency is probably really low if I had to guess. It's actually higher than I thought it would be, so I guess we'll keep it something like that just for this season, and then BJ Edgecombe's is fine as a rookie, and then SARS is kind of low, but that's fine for now. Maybe we move it up in the future. So we'll see how it goes. First season with AJ Johnson as the full-time starter. Obviously, I have BJ Edgecombe next to him too. I'm not anticipating a playoff spot happening this year, but I just hope to see strides from AJ Johnson and some of the other young guys. At the end of year number 2, unfortunately, we weren't very good again, which is fine. Like I said, we're kind of still being patient with this. We don't need to be a super team overnight. I was got Mullock making all rookie second team, and the VJ Edgecombe makes it all rookie first team. So that's good. We'll look at those stats in just a second. So yeah, we're nowhere close to the play-in or the playoffs. We were really bad once again. I think we're the last team in the NBA if I had to guess, or at least the last team in the East for sure. So Mavericks and Pacers, and Mavs going to win it all. So Ed Davis Finals MVP. LeBron's going to call it this time. Nothing I can do about it this time around. But let's look at those stats as I wanted to. So we had 18 from AJ Johnson, 13 from VJ Edgecombe, 13 and 7 from Alexander Sarr, 12 from Belil, 12 from Corey Kispert, 9 from Carrington, 8 from Mullock with 6 rebounds, and then 7 from Kaishan George, 6 from Champagny, 5 from Sadiq Bey, and a lot of these other contracts will be gone, which is great because then we'll have all the vets basically gone. We'll kind of have, we'll know what we want going forward basically. So we already looked at that, so it's just as far as what the draft lottery is going to look like for us. So imagine we get the #1 overall pick. Obviously, it always says the Knicks get it, but that's not the case. It is very protected, I believe, in real life. So let's see what happens, and we will draw number 5. Of course, Thunder get Utah's pick at 6. So a couple of picks I need to fix, and then I will see you guys in the draft. Do we fire Brian Keefe? That was the question. I think after 2 really bad seasons, probably would be warranted at that point. So we can throw, we could throw Jenkins, who got fired by the Grizzlies, of course, just recently. We can throw Mazzulla an offer 2, which we will. We'll throw Jenkins an offer 2 for a rebuilding culture. But of course, we're trying to turn things around here soon. And then we can go Willie Green as well, which I wouldn't hate. So Joe Mazzulla is not going to sign. We could go Taylor Jenkins and Willie Green. And I think the obvious answer would be getting Taylor Jenkins, who was just fired by the Grizzlies. So welcome. And now let's head to draft night. Let's fix those picks, as we'll have another pick at picking 5, which is actually back-to-back years for us. Just noticed that. We shall see what drops to us at pick 5 here as AJ goes to Charlotte to form a duo with LaMelo, Darren Peterson to Boston, Cameron Boozer to Portland. Why was Boston picking number 2, by the way? I wasn't even paying attention. Caleb Wilson to New Orleans at pick number 5. So you have Elijah Arenas, Darius, Koa. There's a lot of different ways we could go about this, but I think I will go ahead and take Elijah Arenas here. So 6'7" guard, could move him to 3. A lot of different things we could do with him. Do we have another first here? No, it's just a late second. So why was Boston picking 2? Were they really that bad, though? The Celtics, maybe they were that bad. Let's go see. I didn't realize they were that horrible. Oh, I guess they missed the playoffs, 40 and 42, and got lucky. So they jumped up. Damn, so they got lucky and jumped up in the lottery. That's why we fell down to 5. I guess that makes sense. Okay, so we'll sign Elijah Arenas, who's a 78 overall immediately, which is nice. And then, of course, we're definitely going to decline Bogdan's option, no doubt. And then we'll obviously have, like Duncan Robinson, Rozier, all as free agents. But none of them will be brought back. All these guys that we just got out of those trades are all gone officially. We really couldn't be happier about it. And we have cap space to sign another good player if we want to. But I don't think we will. So let's go take a look at the rotation now. So Bub Carrington, AJ Johnson still serves as what I want going forward. And then VJ Edgecombe, Elijah Arenas sounds good to me. Belil, Corey Kispert, Bey still sounds good. Champagny, and then Mullock and Sarr. So really, I'm actually really happy with this. So I don't think I will be signing anybody in free agency because I kind of just want to see what this team could turn into. So let's go to player progression. With the amount of talent that we have around AJ Johnson, let's see if he develops again, and he will go up to an 83. So went up 6 overall again. So he's slowly but surely turning into that guy we want him to. Stars an 87. But I'm hoping to see him average like 20 plus this year if possible. He averaged 17 last year. So 18, I guess you could say. So 18. Efficiency could be better. Not worse, though. Not that bad. Edgecombe going to be an 83 next to him. This should be a very fun team going into year 3. And I think a play-in spot could be something that happens for us, but we'll see. The Power Rank has this listed at the 14th spot, which is not bad. We're 3.5 balanced under our brand new head coach as well. So everything seems to be coming in order, but let's see what this rotation is going to look like. So pretty much the same starting 5 as last year. I didn't even realize Kaishan George went up to an 83 as well. I assume we've moved him to small forward. He'd probably go up even more, right? Well, let's see if that is the case. It only goes up 1, so nothing too crazy. So I'll probably leave him at power forward. But AJ Johnson, Edgecombe, Belil, Kaishan George, Sarr, Bub Carrington, Mullock, Corey Kispert, Elijah Arenas, and Sadiq Bey. I mean, that's a pretty damn good rotation, in my opinion. But what are the shot tendencies? So, Alex Sars is still low. AJ Johnson's is now to an 85, but we're going to push it up even further. So, I want him to be really good this year. And then Luwak's is 78. And then VJ Edgecombe's is a 79. We'll push it up just a little bit, something like that, and we'll see what that turns into. So does that result in us being in the play-in this year? We shall find out. I think there's a chance at it, but I also wouldn't be surprised if we're still too young. But it looks like we might be able to finish over 500 this year, but it might be close. So I'll see you guys at the end of, year 3 at this point, and we'll see what it looks like. But I don't think we're contending just yet, but we're slowly getting there. The Jokic wins MVP, AJ DeBanza Rookie of the Year, Trae Young's your 6th man, Wave Defensive Player, Jalen Tyson Most Improved, Haliburton Clutch Player, and Chris Finch is your Coach of the Year. But this season actually went pretty decently well, I would say. So we've made progress towards being a competent franchise again. Elijah Arenas All-Rookie 2nd team. But I know Wizards fans have dealt with some pretty bad times for quite some time, so I'm looking to turn it around as we are a play-in team this time around. So if we finished at our record, we're 42-40, which to me is progress as a young roster. You would really take that. The expectations aren't set in yet, but they are coming eventually as AJ Johnson's up to 23 points per game, which is what we wanted. So 23, and efficiency jumped up quite a bit too, which is great. And then Edgecombe with 18, 13 from Sar, 12 and 7 from Luwak, 10 from Belil, 9 from Bub Carrington, 8 from Elijah Arenas, and 8 from Corey Kispert. This team low-key might be unstoppable when it fully develops. I'm not going to lie, because we have a lot of good players that could turn into something. So Chicago, first round of the play-in, we got Lonzo, Kobe White, Idasumu, Kuminga, which I often don't see Kuminga on a new team, but he is here in Chicago, and we will beat them. So we're in the playoffs, and we're playing the Cleveland Cavaliers. Are we too young, or do we have what it takes to potentially upset a 2nd seed in the East in Cleveland? Let's see. So game 1 goes to the Cavs. Game 2 goes to them. Game 3, so no, we are way too young still, unless if we plan on coming back from 3-0, but no, at least we won 1 to push it to 5. Unfortunately, still a little too young to do anything. But what were the playoff stats? So AJ Johnson, stats came down a little bit in the playoffs, but I assume with, more experience that will change, and an Edgecombe at 19. So 19 and 19 apiece, not bad. Hawks and Spurs, and the Spurs go on to win it all. All right. For your retirements, Conley's going to retire a Dallas Maverick, but this is another huge pivotal offseason. So our pick is going to be, or actually that Detroit pick, but I believe it was top 10 protected or lottery protected. I can't remember. But Miami gets 1. Bulls via Portland, which should be fixed, but I may not fix it. And yeah, I believe that Detroit pick was only top 10 protected. So that Marcus Smart trade actually netted us the 13th overall pick, which feels good. And then we also have pick number 16. So 2 young players we can still bring in. I will go ahead and fix the Chicago pick because they're in my conference. Should be going to Portland. Really wish 2K could just be on top of that, but she just, I'm expecting it to never be I'm never expecting it to be that case. But let's go and fix that. So number 2 to the Blazers, and then you can have, well, I guess we can't send you, whatever. You're just going to have to deal with not having their pick ever. All right. Well, I'm protected like forever, I believe. So let's go back to controlling Wizards, and now we should be good to go with pick 13 and 16. So, not going to lie to you, I don't know how much these 2 guys we're drafting are going to contribute going forward, but there's still 2 young players you can bring in nonetheless, so you definitely draft them. So that will be the start of something beautiful for them to be part of things going forward, especially if the roster gets too expensive, which is definitely possible. We cannot afford to sign any of these guys. We had a lot of 2nd round picks, but it's going to rock with Taj Reza and Diop. But like I said, eventually when things get expensive, which I think a good start is maybe letting go of Corey Kispert and maybe opting to keep Champagny, who is a less cheaper right now. I think that is where we'll start by cutting some financials. Lil, of course, is about to get a contract, and that's only going to keep coming with with these young players coming off their rookie deal. So Sadiq Bey and Corey Kispert are probably gonna we're probably gonna have to let them go. But Belil will get an offer from me, obviously. That goes without saying. So these 2 guys can go. And Belil will get an offer sheet from me, or we'll match the offer depending on what his offers are. Right now, he's asking for a little too much money, in my opinion, so we're going to wait on it. But there it is. So, offer sheet comes from Milwaukee. Obviously, we will match it, and he will be signed back to Washington. So, I want to let the market dictate how much he is worth. And again, I could go crazy and sign someone in free agency, but as you guys probably already know, we pretty much have every position filled the way I want it to be filled, because we can move Edgecombe. Well, move Ariza there probably. Who's going to play a role this year? which is nice. So let's play a move Ariza there right now. So rookie's going to come in and probably have a bench roll right away. That's nice. And we'll go see what player progression is looking like. So this is another year of looking at what AJ Johnson turns into and an Edgecombe. So AJ Johnson is now up to 90 overall. So that is what we wanted. We have an 89 Edgecombe. And this is where we start to say, hey, we can actually be a contender. Like, it starts now. We made the playoffs last year. Fortunately, didn't make too much noise, but with how much has developed for us, I think expectations should be making the playoffs as a top 3 seed, hopefully. So this year, power rank went up again, as this time we're 8th overall. Only a 4-star balance proficiency, but I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of this video, we're up to 4.5 or 5 stars. I assume that will come with time. But here is rotation again. So again, very stacked team in my opinion. We might even shrink this down to a 9-man rotation. That way we get our starters even more minutes. So something like that, where 32 minutes is going. And again, it's so like this rotation is pretty damn good to where I want to get AJ Johnson 36, and then VJ Edgecombe will get 34 as well. So something like that. Shot tendencies should be where I want them to be, obviously. So whoops, that I passed it, I believe. So shot tendencies, there it is. Okay, so AJ Johnson's is a 94, Edgecomb's is a 90, so that looks good to me. Blue Walk 82 off the bench. And Arenas, he has a very high shot tendency. I mean, if I needed Arenas to be a star for us, I would keep it, but I don't need him to be. I'm going to push this down quite a bit so he's not taking too much control from AJ Johnson and Edgecombe. So we'll just adjust it just a tad bit, and I'm hoping to see a top 3 seed appearance this year from this Wizards team. We shall see if it ends up being the case, but very happy with how this video is going so far. But let's see if we can potentially have a top 3 seed appearance and maybe even go win a championship this season. So Jokic always seems to end up in a Warriors jersey in these rebuilds, but he wins MVP representing them. Stokes is your Rookie of the Year. Sergio is your 6th man. Wemby Defensive Player. Boogie Flan Most Improved. And K's your Clutch Player. And Kid is your Coach of the Year. And Cody Toole is your Executive. So not too shabby, but let's go take a look at the All-NBA teams. I would be really cool if we saw AJ Johnson on one of these. I just don't know if we will. So All-NBA first team, Jokic, and then, Luka, Cooper Flag, and Utah, Anthony Edwards. Okay. All-NBA second team, Dylan Harper, and then we do get VJ Edgecombe, not AJ Johnson, but VJ Edgecombe averaged 22 and 7, which isn't bad. And then here's all defensive first team and all defensive second team. So not too shabby there. And here's our rookie team. So we were going to have a rookie playing, but I think he kind of got cut out of the rotation when I moved it to 9-man rotation. And we are the 2nd seed in the E. So here are your player stats as you had 22 from AJ Johnson and 22 from VJ Edgecombe. 16 and 9 from Luwak, 14 from Alex Sarr. So it might have to be a conversation about starting Luwak and Alex Sarr next year together. That would be pretty dangerous. Imagine a Belil, Sarr, Luwak. Damn, defensively would be pretty crazy. And you have a 6'5" and 6'6". Yeah, that team would be pretty terrifying, not gonna lie. But money is coming soon. We're gonna have to pay everybody, so that's gonna be dangerous when we enter that territory. But we get to play Chicago in the first round, and we beat them. I believe we played them in the play-in just earlier, and we beat them. So Luwak is actually gonna start. So I do wonder if we should just transition. Although Kashan George averaging 10 points, 42% from 3 would be kind of crazy if we transition to a. But I won't yet. I think I'll do it next year. So still gonna come around against Chicago, and we will beat them in 5. So good start. And now we draw the Pacers, who have Jarris Walker up to an 85, Turner, Benedict Mathurin. So it's a good team that Indiana has, of course, but let's see if we are better. So game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to us. So far, so good. And we're up 3-1, and we will beat them in 5. And now we draw the Brooklyn Nets, who I believe drafted Ace Bailey earlier. And now they have Boogie Flan, Zara Williams, and Giannis, and Michael Porter. So they have made some moves, obviously. Giannis being a Brooklyn Net is not something I expected to see today, as we win game 1. We win game 2. And are they going to even it up? No, 3-1. So we've gone up 3-1 each time. And this time it's going to go to 6 and actually going to 7 now. So a game 7 is happening in Brooklyn. So we were just up 3-1. So blowing a 3-1 lead would be pretty devastating. But can we? Oh, it's going to. Oh, gosh. This is going to be close. And we are going to blow a 3-1 lead. Damn, bro. Come on. Why the hell are we blowing 3-1 leads, bro? Come on. Alex Sarr 28. 3-1 leads, 3-0 leads are blown like the wind is in real life in 2K, I guess. And the Nets go on to win it all. So Ace Bailey, Finals MP, 31 points per game. But I can't be too discouraged. It's nice to at least make it to the conference finals, but we were 1 game away from the finals. So that was pretty disappointing for the most part. So Jenkins will, of course, remain the head coach. And we can head to draft night. Wasn't even paying attention to see if we had a pick, because there really probably isn't any room to add another rookie here. So we have a pick from the Nets, but it's 30th overall. So I don't really care about it right now. Edgecombe, Luwak, and Arenas will all be accepted. And then this is where things will get expensive because you have Kaishan George, Alex R, and now even AJ Johnson as all free agents. So this team about to be utterly expensive. Champagne's probably gonna have to be let go, unfortunately. So he will be let him walk. Thankfully, we have not spent money on anything else, but AJ Johnson, Bub Carrington, which I don't even know why he's unrestricted. That makes literally no sense. He's listed as unrestricted, which makes literally, like I said, no sense at all. But yeah, this is gonna get pretty expensive. So this will be kind of hard to dictate, but we will motion through it. So let's obviously match the first one, Alex Sar. Probably just to let the market dictate what these guys are gonna get. So just want to make sure I'm doing this right. So yep, that's gonna be done. So match Alex Sar. That's done, and then we will have that taken care of. Okay, so those are all what I wanted. And now it'd probably be in our best interest to give everybody else a 5-year deal. That way we're on top of it and don't have to pay people extensions in the future. Although, with Bub Carrington, it may not be in our best interest to pay him as much money as we're about to pay AJ Johnson just because he's a bench player. Kaishan George, this one's interesting too. But because I want to win a championship next year, I think I'm just going to pay them. And again, I think if I was doing a 10-year rebuild, I would really consider not paying either of these guys, but we will. So they're both brought back. That makes our team still a contender, and I will be messing with rotation for next year. But looking at player progression, I am curious to see what kind of development we might get out of some of the with the rest of the roster, what it might look like. But we have AJ Johnson up to a 94, Edgecombe 92, Blue Ox up to an 88. I mean, yeah, and Elijah Arenas is sitting here waiting to break out as well. But I think we have to start Maluwak and Sar together next year. So I will show you guys rotation we're going to rock with going into year number, I don't know, is this year 5, year 4? But one of them, and I'm expecting a championship very soon, whether it's this year or next. It's definitely happening here in a little bit. So here's rotation going into hopefully the final season where we bring a championship to this team because, I mean, just look at it. It's pretty damn dangerous and scary looking right now. So we'll see how it goes. Expectations, obviously, are winning a championship. So as far as what AJ Johnson did last year for us, 22 points per game. So back-to-back years, averaging 22. There's a lot of good players on this roster, so I'm not really sure I expect him to jump up to like 30 points per game or something. But as you can see, so far, it is off to a great start. So I'll see you guys at the end of the year, where we're probably going to be the first seed, or maybe not, because we're the second seed right now. So there's maybe another good team in the East we have to worry about. But we shall see how we finish. Jokic is your MVP. Baba is your Rookie of the Year. Baba, I don't know how to say that name. Where is he from? He is from Maryland. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Never heard of him. Josh Giddey, 6-man wave defensive player. Nolan Shore, most improved. And Jokic, your clutch player. Taylor Jenkins did win Coach of the Year at the last second there. I accidentally skipped through it. But Maluwak actually made an All-NBA third team rather than any of our other guys. So that's an interesting turn that I expect to see. Maluwak, all-defensive second team as well. So putting him in the starting 5 seemed to have paid off as we draw the first seed in the Eastern Conference. So here were your player stats. So you had 23, I should say, from AJ Johnson, 20 from VJ Edgecombe, 19 from Luwak, 17 from Marinas, who's up to an 88 overall. So yeah, pretty wild on how good this roster is. But all that matters is trying to win a championship. I thought we had one potentially in our, our crosshairs last year, and we fell short of our goal. Now we have to deal with the Bucks, who have Jaden, Jalen Green, and Trae Young. A pretty interesting 8th seed, but I would hope we're still better than them. We'll see. And we will... Ooh, okay. This is going to be closer than I would want. So, you know what? I might even go to an 8-man rotation if we beat them in 6. Yes, okay. So now we get to play the Boston Celtics, who have Peterson, Brown, Tatum. They have Trey Jones starting, Tari Eason, Ian Jackson. It's a good team in Boston, but similar to kind of the Grizzlies, sometimes the Boston Celtics are just very disrespected in 2K. I'm kind of hoping to see that disrespect here, and we will beat them in 5. Thank you. And now we can play Cleveland, who beat us earlier, but they are the 7th seed. So obviously, I feel like we match up very well against them. We have the size to deal with them. We're actually bigger than their backcourt as well. And Jalen Tyson, who is, I guess, 6'6", but below is what, 6'8"? Yeah, so we should have the size advantage against them, but that doesn't mean everything. So game 1, 1-0, 2-0. 2-1. Don't blow this. 3-1. Don't blow it like you did last year, and we beat them in 5. Okay. Successful conference finals, and now we've made it to the NBA finals. Do we deal with Wemby, or do we deal with Anthony Edwards? And they got Rasheer Fleming. Okay, I'll have to keep him in mind. He turned into an 89 overall. Damn, okay. From St. Joseph's. Okay. So let's see what we get. So game 1, San Antonio. And then, or sorry, not game 1, game 5, and game 6 goes to the Spurs. Okay, so we draw Wemby and the Spurs. We got Stephon Castle, Jabari Smith, Wemby, Igor. You got Jeremy Sohan, Trey Mann, Dash Daniels, Asa Newell. Very good team, but I'm hoping Blow gets the better of his former teammates, and it's an even series so far. 2-1, 3-1, and we are going to game 6. Okay, so let's simcast game 6 on the road in San Antonio. So let's see if we can't take advantage of having the 3-2 lead and avoiding a game 7 altogether. It looks like that will be the case, and I think that is going to be all she wrote, guys. That is a beautiful way to end this video. Return AJ Johnson into a superstar. And honestly, the Wizards core was kind of laid out for me. I didn't have to do a whole lot. Of course, I drafted very well, I feel like, but I did get lucky with some lottery picks, even though I didn't get like I didn't get like number 1 or number 3 overall today, but we'll still take it. And I'm gonna end it there, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope y'all had a great time, and let me know if you guys want to see a similar video to this with anybody else. These are usually pretty fun to do. So I'll see you on the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.